The topic of today's lecture is attention. Attention, from the Latin root attentio, from attendere, meaning to attend, is one's ability to focus on a given task, and is remarkably variable when the party in question is exposed to different stimuli. For example, Ashford here has already fallen asleep. However, I can easily regain his attention by slamming my hands on his desk. The behavior that our friend Ashford here has just exhibited exemplifies the basic property of attention, that is our inclination to pay attention to potential danger. Ashford here, being the reasonable fellow that he is, responds to the sudden stimulus by paying full attention to the perceived threat. Elementary as this behavior may seem, quickly refocusing our attention was an integral part of our ancestors' survival. Davison.
What if Ashford would be confronted with two threats at the same time? Would it be possible for him to attend to both of them?
An excellent question. To quote our dear friend William James, the question of the span of consciousness has often been asked and answered. For which they can form one complex object. So that, properly speaking, there is before the mind at no time a plurality of ideas properly so called. It is nearly impossible to focus on two threats at the same time. For example, when I slammed my hands on Ashford's desk, he lacked the awareness to notice the petty theft of his eraser by Margaret, despite her pronounced lack of stealth and dexterity. This failure to notice a change in the environment is called change blindness. Incidentally, does there exist a single individual in this room other than myself who remembers whose work I've been quoting? As expected. You see, we humans, as a matter of course, pay very little attention to detail. We prefer to summarize and then let unfounded assumptions fill in details, rather than store a plethora of details and then derive a summary. However, we do have the means by which we may overcome this limitation easily enough. Observe. When exposed to emotionally charged stimuli, we become far more apt to focus our attention and remember events in greater detail. In the case of Margaret here, we observe a marked increase in awareness after enduring exposure to acts of violence. Margaret will indubitably remember this event in great detail for some time to come. Please demonstrate.
When exposed to emotionally charged stimuli, we become far more apt to focus our attention and recall the events in greater detail. Because I feel from life presently, it is indubitable that I will be able to reproduce the contents of this lecture in great detail for some considerable amount of time to come.
Let us hope that for your sake you do, in fact, remember the information from this lecture for at least the remainder of the semester. Otherwise, you may find yourself met with the same fate that might befall an ancient ancestor who lacked the basic attention skills necessary for survival. Using these emotionally charged hooks to recapture the attention of the audience can prove to be quite effective, as many of you have undoubtedly noticed. This being the case, I would not hesitate to take further action to ensure effective learning in this classroom, were the attentiveness of any of you to falter in the future. Good day.